Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. HVK all day, let's get it, man. In today's video, guys, I want to talk about caffeine and SR. I made like 2 or 3 videos on this subject before, like a long time ago, and I just want to go a little bit over, SR and just like consuming caffeine while being on this journey, man. And what I've noticed, guys, is that caffeine is very sneaky. It's very sneaky. It's very like innocent, seems like, like by society, it's like very socially acceptable to just always be drinking like caffeine, coffee, energy drinks, because they put it in everything nowadays, man. Even like the healthy looking stuff, you'll notice it has caffeine in it, like these carbonated drinks, all types of stuff, man. And what I've noticed, being on my SR journey, guys, retaining my energy, is that it's very sneaky. Like you won't notice like negative effects right away, obviously, but what I could tell you guys about caffeine is that, and what I've learned about it, is that what it does is it kind of puts you in like a fight or flight mode. It kind of puts you in a more animalistic, like survival type of mood, where your energy is kind of like more lower, but in a survival type of way. You get what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of people operate in society, where they're just like, very like jittery and just like all like hyped up, all caffeinated, all coffeeed out, and they're just like operating in that type of state, right? And then they crash, and then they just feel drained afterwards. And another thing that I've noticed is that like coffee, like caffeine, it doesn't actually give you energy. What it does, it just blocks something in your brain to make you feel like you're not tired, but you're basically using up your natural energy. So when it comes to SR, you're building up this natural energy within you. So if you're always drinking caffeine, it's kind of like you're trading in the SR energy for that caffeinated energy, right? I watched the video where some guy compared it to, drinking caffeine is kind of like using a credit card. You're just borrowing energy and then you have to pay it back. And the way that you pay it back is just like being drained, just being tired, just like, and it's crazy, bro. And another thing that I've noticed is like it causes like makes you dependent on it, very subconsciously. It makes you dependent, where there's been times a lot where I've gone like not drinking caffeine, and then I start drinking it again. And the times that I do, it always starts off like innocent, just having like a little drink here and there, but it's just like it just adds up like over the days. And then like before you know it, it's just like a habit, right? And it's just kind of like subconsciously like depending on it, being in the store and just grabbing like a drink real quick. And it's crazy, bro. And it's just like you want to never depend on anything outside of yourself. When it comes to SR, like the energy that you naturally get is a lot better than the energy that you'll get from these caffeinated drinks. It's more pure. It's more like it's nothing outside of you, right? It's not like something that's kind of like hijacking your mentality and your natural energy. Because I've noticed, being on SR and then just drinking like these caffeinated drinks, sometimes it's just like, I don't know how to explain it, man. It just kind of throws me off guard in a way. It kind of ruins the purity of the retention journey. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, I don't feel as magnetic, right? I feel more tired, and it's just like, the caffeine is kind of using up all the SR energy without me really realizing it. But I still have like a lot of energy, but the times where I don't drink caffeine, it's just like more natural energy. It's just like I feel more uplifted, like I'm not like depending on anything. And what I said earlier about the fight or flight mode, is that's what it does, man. So if your energy is raising up from retaining, and you start drinking caffeine, and it puts you in that fight or flight type of mode, that fight or flight type of mode is just that energy is more lower now. Okay, so what that means is that you're gonna be getting a lot more urges, right? The sexual urges. You're not gonna be able to how do you say, like, you get more urges if you're drinking caffeine because the energy is lower, and you just feel like the urges more. Like when I was drinking the caffeine a lot, I felt like my body was hotter. It was like I was like an animal. I was just like ready to, like, just like plant my seed. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like it's bad, bro. Like, if you want to succeed like long periods of time, the best way of doing this, guys, is to just be as natural as possible, man. Because things like alcohol, caffeine, weed, substances, stimulants, all those things in the that I mentioned, it's just like it kind of ruins the journey, and it could potentially make you like relapse because your energy is kind of being like manipulated by like outside sources, which is the caffeine or the alcohol or the weed. So when you're sober, it kind of makes you more like tuned in with yourself, right? It's just you. It's just the pure raw energy. Okay. But like I said, it's very sneaky, so it may not seem like it's doing anything, but like over time it does. And this is what I've noticed, guys, is like every time I like start getting into like drinking like these type of drinks, um I don't know, man, it's hard to explain, guys, but it doesn't feel like I'm getting all the benefits. And the times where I haven't drank, like just been drinking water and stuff, I feel like magnetic as shit. Like I feel more like pure. I feel like I have a different type of aura, right? When I'm drinking caffeine, it's like my aura is more different. And it's kind of more different, like in a negative way. Like I'm more like easily like irritable, right? More aggressive. But on SR, you get the natural aggression, but it's more controlled. But if you're mixing it with SR, you're just like, if you don't know how to transmute your energy, man, you just like self-destruct. But that's what I'm saying, guys. Like the caffeine is just it could kind of like throw you off guard and just kind of like ruin your journey, or make you have like night releases, okay? Because that energy is lower. You're thinking, on a lower vibration. Like your energy is more lower, because you're in that state. Um, so that's all I wanted to talk about, guys. Is that like, I need to go on a caffeine retention journey. You know what I'm saying, guys? And see how that goes, because I never been into caffeine really. I used to drink a lot back then, but once your mind is very sneaky. Your mind is always trying to find different ways in getting dopamine. It's like as soon as I stopped drinking, because I went on SR, so like naturally I just stopped wanting to drink. And then from there, it was just like these subtle little things that be coming into your life that you kind of have to be aware of. Caffeine is one of those things where you don't want to be dependent on it. And I know they say like it's all in moderation, but sometimes that moderation is what causes a ripple effect and making it excessive, right? And you're just over here like a freaking like, all twacked out, bro. Like, just, you can't spell caffeine without saying fiend. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, guys, I just want to try retention, just more pure, right? More without the caffeine, and see like how it affects me. Because like I mentioned, guys, like the times where I did not drink caffeine, I felt more magnetic. I felt like my aura was like more pure, more radiating. And not only that, guys, it doesn't affect your energy. It doesn't just affect your energy, but it also affects you like psychologically, but also like physically. Your skin doesn't, because it dehydrates you, right? Like caffeine, it dehydrates you. It like kind of drains your natural energy, makes you dependent, it makes you crash. So it's kind of like you're putting like a blockage on yourself in a way. And SR, like drinking caffeine on SR, like it just gives you like a boost, right? But like I said, it's just artificial. It's just like you're gonna have to pay that energy back. You know, I haven't drank caffeine in like 2 days. And you know, for the rest of this, because it's basically 6 months already, guys. Like in this year, we're going into June, so that's gonna be 6 months. So I feel like for the next 6 months, I just want to be like on a caffeine retention journey. You know what I'm saying? Just like see what that does, because I've gone like a month without drinking that, and I feel like I haven't given myself enough time to experience, you know, just drinking water and just being on retention, because I've seen like a lot of Reddit posts about like caffeine and SR, and a lot of it really makes sense. You know, it talked about how it just kind of blocks the energy, and it just kind of like makes your aura different, you know, makes you more irritable, makes you more like in that fight or flight mode. It causes more urges, and things like that. So I just want to talk about that, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention right now is that, so how I said that I haven't drank in 2 days. Guys, when you stop drinking caffeine, it's like you're hungover, right? Like after a day or two, you just get like a pounding headache. You know, you feel like tired as shit. You just feel drained, you know? You feel like you're like poisoned or something, you know? Like it's crazy. And it's like that right there just shows you that like what it does, you know, like what is happening like internally, because I literally went to sleep last night like at 9, I think, and then I woke up today like at 2, you know. So I don't know how many hours that is like at the top of my head, but I just slept for a long time, guys, because I just felt like I was glued to the bed, and I just had like a pounding headache. And I know it was a caffeine withdrawal, obviously, like I was already expecting that, but you know, once that's over, and it's out of my system, then I'll be able to, you know, use this natural energy more to my advantage, right? Not really relying on anything external outside of myself, because, you know, these are things that could kind of like limit you in a way, and you don't want to be dependent on it. And, you know, it's crazy, bro. It really is. I haven't drank alcohol this whole year. You know, I just been retaining and just kind of like drinking these caffeinated drinks here and there. But sometimes it'd be getting out of control, because, like I said, it's just very sneaky. It's very subtle. Before you know it, you're just like out of control, right? And sometimes it's, you know, if you're not addicted to something, right, or the ways to avoid being addicted to something is to spend long periods of time without it. Someone can say, you know, I'm not addicted, you know, like I just like it. But okay, that goes for alcohol, the hub, weed, caffeine, all these things, guys. If you're not addicted to it, go 6 months without it, right? And then you need to always be in control of your mind in the sober state. You know, never be dependent on other things. And I feel like this way is how you do more successful shadow work, right? When you're sober, you're on retention, you're not relying on anything. That's when you could kind of fix your problems a lot quicker, manifest a lot quicker, because it's just you and your energy, right? You're not depending on anything outside of yourself. So, you know, with that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up. The sun is going down, and that's a good way to end the video. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Let me know your experiences with caffeine on SR. Has it affected you in a negative way, or what have you learned from it? So yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.